going on, everybody? Welcome to another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade J.J. Williams, and today's film, as we continue our journey through the 31 days of Disney, is The Princess and the Frog, featuring the voice talents of Anika Noni Rose, Bruno Campos, Keith David, Michael Leon Woolley, Jennifer Cody, Jim Cummings, Peter Bartlett, Jennifer Lewis, Oprah Winfrey, Terrence Howard, and John Goodman. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me here once again for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. As I said in the introduction, it's Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, this Wacky Wednesday, if you will. And today we're going to continue our journey through the 31 days of Disney and take a look at The Princess and the Frog. Now, our movie is set during the Roaring Twenties in New Orleans, Louisiana, where we meet Tiana, a young woman who is completely devoted to opening her own restaurant, a dream that she shared with her late father, who died during World War I. Tiana works 2 jobs as a waitress every day and night in order to earn the money to make this dream a reality, leaving her no time for a social life. Meanwhile, Naveen, the spoiled and arrogant prince of Maldonia, arrives in New Orleans, where after being financially cut off from his family's fortune by his parents, he intends to marry the rich Southern belle Charlotte LeBoeuf, who is Tiana's best friend. Now, her father, the wealthy Eli Big Daddy LeBoeuf, hosts a masquerade ball in Naveen's honor, for which Charlotte hires Tiana in order to make beignets, offering her just enough money to buy a dilapidated mill for her to convert into her dream restaurant. Naveen and his valet, Lawrence, encounter Dr. Facilier, a voodoo witch doctor who tricks them into a fortune reading. Then he transforms Naveen into a frog and gives Lawrence Naveen's appearance through a voodoo talisman that contains Naveen's blood. Now, Facilier intends for the disguised Lawrence to marry Charlotte, then kill Big Daddy with a voodoo doll so that he can gain the LeBoeuf fortune. At the ball, Tiana is told by the realtors, the Fenner brothers, that she has been outbid for the mail. Now despondent, Tiana wishes on the evening star for her dream to come true. She then meets Naveen in frog form, who, believing her to be a princess, asks for a kiss in order to break Facilier's spell. Tiana reluctantly agrees after Naveen promises to finance her restaurant. Instead, however, Tiana ends up transforming into a frog because she is not a princess. The two are then chased into the bayou where they meet the trumpet-playing alligator named Lewis, who dreams of playing jazz music. After informing Lewis that they are actually humans under a voodoo spell, he tells them about Mama Odie, another voodoo practitioner who lives in the bayou, and they all go in search of her. They are guided to Mama Odie by a Cajun firefly named Ray, who is enamored with the evening star, believing that it is a firefly named Evangeline, as no one has the heart to tell him otherwise. During the journey, Tiana and Naveen fend off a group of hunters, and they begin to develop feelings for each other, especially after the latter learns to be a more responsible human being. Meanwhile, the talisman that allows Lawrence to be disguised as Naveen needs more of Naveen's blood, or else Lawrence will return to his normal appearance. Upon discovering that Naveen has escaped, Facilier asks his friends on the other side to help retrieve him. offering them the souls of the New Orleans residents in exchange. The demons then discover Tiana and her group in the bayou, although they are rescued by Mama Odie. Mama Odie then tells Naveen that the spell can only be broken with the princess's kiss, and they realize, as Big Daddy has been crowned the King of Mardi Gras, Charlotte will be a princess until midnight. The group then hitches a ride on a paddle steamer back to New Orleans, during which Naveen tells Ray about his love for Tiana and his plans to propose marriage to her. Although, after talking to her, he selflessly decides against it, since transforming him and Tiana into humans and financing Tiana's restaurant is contingent on him kissing and marrying Charlotte. The shadow demons find and capture Naveen and bring him back to Facilier, who uses his blood to replenish the talisman. After hearing from Ray how Naveen feels about her, Tiana heads to the Mardi Gras parade to find him, only to see Lawrence masquerading as Naveen, marrying Charlotte. Heartbroken and now believing that she will be a frog forever, Tiana flees the scene. Ray rescues the real Naveen and steals the talisman, which he gives to Tiana before Facilier mortally wounds him. Facilier then offers to make Tiana's dream come true in exchange for the talisman. Realizing that she would rather be with Naveen and that she would be dishonoring her father by accepting, Tiana destroys the talisman. With Facilier's plan foiled, the voodoo spirits drag him into their world for failing to pay back his debt. After Lawrence is exposed and arrested, Tiana reveals her love to Naveen, and Charlotte agrees to kiss Naveen so that he and Tiana can be human. But the clock strikes midnight and the kiss fails. Ray dies shortly thereafter, and during his funeral, a new star appears next to Evangeline. Tiana and Naveen are married by Mama Odie, and since doing so makes Tiana a princess, both are restored to human form after they kiss. They return to New Orleans to legally marry and open their restaurant together, with Lewis playing in the band as our movie comes to its close. This film is credited a lot of times as being the movie that got them out of the second dark ages, but it also didn't do as well as its successor, which we'll get into tomorrow. So with that kind of mentality, I kind of look at The Princess and the Frog as I do Oliver and Company. And Oliver and Company, I have always felt, is the true beginning of the Renaissance period. When you look at story, the level of the voice, talent, the music, etc. Princess and the Frog is there, but it just didn't have the success that Tangled did, which came after it. Oliver and Company didn't have the success that The Little Mermaid did, which came after it. Princess and the Frog did go back to the hand-drawn animation technique, although computers were still involved. It wasn't 100% hand-drawn like Snow White, Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, etc. were. But you definitely notice a different aesthetic in watching The Princess and the Frog as opposed to watching Meet the Robinsons. You can see a difference in the animation. I'm not sure exactly what it was that killed this movie, so to speak, because it was good. It was solid. The music was good. The voice talent was good. There's just something about it that didn't allow it to reach the heights that the other princess movies had prior, whether it's Tangled or Frozen or Beauty and the Beast and The Little Mermaid and Aladdin or Snow White, Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty. There was just something about it that held it down. And the elephant in the room, just to throw it out there, I'm not saying I agree with this. I'm not saying I believe with this. A lot of people may point to the fact that it's the first black princess. I think that's horseshit. People may point to the fact that Jim Cummings as Ray the Firefly is a little bit too stereotypical of a performance. I call that bullshit. You know, I don't know what it was, but for me and my money, those two reasons are BS. Period. I do enjoy the film. I enjoy the music. I enjoy the story. The only issue that I have is stuff that has followed this movie in its recent years. A lot of you guys know that Splash Mountain has been struck from the parks and is being rethemed into a Tiana's Bayou Adventure. I believe that's what the new official name for the ride is. And a lot of the reasoning is because of the heavy burden and weight that comes with the film Song of the South. What people fail to realize, though, is that people that don't acknowledge history are doomed to repeat it. At the beginning of this movie, Eudora, Tiana's mother, is shown working for Big Daddy. We don't know the extent of the work she does for him, but she's a seamstress. She seems to be a nanny of sorts because she's watching Charlotte. And her husband, Tiana's father, and baby Tiana live in what appears to be a little track housing. Is Tiana, Eudora, and her husband slaves to Big Daddy? Based on the imagery provided to us, one could potentially draw that conclusion. And while, yes, the Civil War was long over by the Roaring Twenties and slavery was illegal, just the imagery is there. Could that be something that hindered this movie and something that maybe should be discussed and debated about as they proceed with this new attraction? Am I out of line here? Let me know. Let's discuss this. Debate it, but let's be, civil about this in the comments and let me know what you guys think. When it comes to my rating for Princess and the Frog, I give it 4 out of 5 stars. I enjoy this film, like I've said a few times. Again, the songs, the voice cast, the animation, the story, everything just seems to hit for me. And I really do enjoy it. Almost There is on my Disney playlists all the time. Whenever I make a Disney playlist, I put Almost There on there. I'm curious to know what you guys think about The Princess and the Frog, though. Let me know. If you're watching the premiere, leave your thoughts and comments over here. If you're watching on demand later in the day, leave your thoughts and comments down here. Let's have that conversation, that discussion, that debate, that interaction that I'm always asking you guys in the comments below. And make sure you guys tune in tomorrow, right here to the Casa D18 Studios channel, as we once again open up the vaults to present Throwback Thursday content. The ATW View, the Indie Force podcast, the No DQ review, open mic night, No DQ and AV, Talk Wrestling, Dads on Wrestling, Renegade of Wrestling, Double Down with Double A, and Stat Boy Rants will all be back once again tomorrow to continue bringing you some classic content from your favorite wrestling YouTube channels, including the Simple Man's Brand, the NoDQ.com YouTube channel, the Jeff Meacham Network, the Casa D18 Studios, and FTW Productions. And then mixed in with all the Throwback Thursday content will be another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. and we're going to be taking a look at Tangled, featuring the voice talents of Mandy Moore, Zachary Levi, Donna Murphy, Brad Garrett, Jeffrey Tambor, Ron Perlman, and M.C. Gainey. You don't want to miss out on any of that content right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel. We've got Throwback Thursday, Tangled, and so much more in store for you as we continue our 31 Days of Disney journey right here on Renegades Reviews. Again, you don't want to miss any of it, so make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure that notification bell is turned on so you don't miss out anytime a video drops right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel or anytime we go live, as is the case with Statboy Sports Bar, Open Mic Night, pay-per-view PLE watch-along coverage, etc. Share these videos with your family, friends, loved ones, coworkers, movie fanatics, cinephiles in your life, fans of Disney animation, fans of the Frog Prince and the Princess and the Frog, anybody you can think of that would enjoy this content in this video. Shared with them, as it's the only way we're going to keep my visibility up in YouTube's algorithms now that we are in fact a monetized channel right here on the platform. Thank you once again to everybody out there who joined me and tuned in this afternoon. It means so much more to me than you guys will ever know. And I will see you guys next time.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.